Right, morning everybody. Some unexpected drama. You'll see from the camera a fire. This morning I was woken up at 3 o'clock in this morning by one of those emergency alarms on your phone telling me to shut windows, etc., and we've got ourselves a fire. So I've seen planes going over trying to douse it. Anyway, there you go. They don't seem to have affected the roads. Today I've got a big day, nearly 300 miles. I'm leaving Greece and heading into Turkey. So a little bit of trepidation. Looking at the internet, it can take 4 to 5 hours to do the crossing for some reason. I think it's because it's a non-Schengen country. So let's see how we go, and I'll probably be in touch when we're in Turkey. Hello everybody. Well, I made it to Turkey. It's beer o'clock, so cheers. What was the crossing like? Well, I guess from the moment I started queuing up on that motorway to actually getting out the other side was about 3 hours. So it was quite long. One person checking passports, then your car had to be searched, etc., etc. For me, I had the added complication with most people from the EU countries of having to buy insurance, which was a bit of a pain. Which meant I had to pay 80, 90 euros because most insurance policies don't cover you in either Albania or Turkey, so I've done that. So now I'm here. A little lesson in terms of how you plan trips. When I planned this trip, I was really just looking at a map and putting a pin into it. And so I chose this place called, would you believe it, Kumbag, Kumbag, as a stop, simply because it's some 80 kilometres from the border. I thought I wouldn't want to drive too far. It's actually not the best of places, if I'm totally honest with you. I normally try and show you nice stretches of road, scenery, etc., but I thought I ought to have a degree of honesty that sometimes your stops don't quite go as planned. So I've taken a little bit of film of Kumbag and see what you think. Anyway, tomorrow, I've only got 2 nights here, so tomorrow I'm off to Istanbul, which is a bit of a seminal moment, I think, from me. Anyway, take a look at this. Right, morning everybody. I have left the glorious Kumbag and I am heading now into Istanbul, which is about 2.5 hours on their toll roads. As you can see, it's fairly quiet at the moment. I feel for myself this is a little bit of a point of reflection on the basis that I've actually driven this car, this glorious Jag, would you believe, all the way from Barnstable, North Devon to Istanbul in Turkey, i.e. where the West meets Islamic Asia. So I'm fairly chuffed about that. I ought to just again mention the car. It's just absolutely awesome. Having a supercharged V8 is just wonderful. Total power on tap whenever you want it. In terms of stats, not that you buy this car for fuel economy, because I've been mostly on auto routes or major roads. I've averaged, would you believe, 27 miles to the gallon, which for a 550 brake horsepower car, I think is pretty good. Anyway, so that's where I am. I've got 5 days in Istanbul. I've rented an apartment with an underground car park, so I'm going to have to be a bit more careful with the car there. But otherwise, as you can see from the signpost, I'm on the way to Istanbul, and I'll see you when I'm there. Well, I made it. Welcome to Istanbul. I've spent a couple of days here. It's a crazy city, actually much more livable than I thought it would be. I've been to Cairo many times and I thought it would be like Cairo. Cairo's a pretty challenging city. Anyway, I've been here a couple of days. As I say, I've got a few more days here. I've walked my legs off, as you always do in these cities, taken a bit of film, so take a look and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Okay, well, I'm nearly there. So I've driven right across Turkey. I'm in the far northeast of Turkey in a place called Ignida. It's about 50 miles from the Bulgarian border. So it's been a bit of a whistle-stop tour to Turkey. I'll just swing around a bit so you can see what I can see. It's a fairly remote area, not a lot here really. It was another example of a pin in a map for me to choose a sort of stop-off point before going back into the EU and into Bulgaria. So that's all for me for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Usual way, give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I will see you either on the way to or in Bulgaria.